We have been saying that 2017 is the year that Brexit gets real. It's in that context that we bring you our new publication, Destination Brexit, and this panel discussion. And what we really want to offer you is a chance to maybe stop looking backwards at why Britain voted the way we did, how we got to here, what it means for our politics in our country, and instead start projecting forwards.
I think Portland are one of the most impressive and influential communications agencies currently operating in the UK. I found it fascinating that I was able to be part of a panel with Michael Portillo, Emma Reynolds, Barbara Judge and Radek Sikorski, all of us having sometimes diverging, sometimes complementary views, but all of us, I hope, able to rise to the challenge of working out what Britain should do in the wake of Article 50.
The question is, can it be done in 2 years? I'm skeptical. I think Britain will get a 1-year extension simply because it's very difficult for the Continentals to negotiate a 1-year budget deal.
I campaigned to remain, but I voted to allow the government to trigger Article 50 in the vote. I feel strongly that we have to accept the result of the referendum. It was a huge democratic exercise, and although I'm very fearful of the risks of leaving the European Union, we now need to focus on how we secure the best possible deal with the rest of the EU.
They won't always put economics first. Sometimes they will put politics first, and they are concerned about the integrity of the EU, and that's something we need to recognise in these negotiations.
Brexit comes at a difficult time for the European Union, but it doesn't represent an existential threat. Those threats are offered, I think, by the euro, which is in sustained crisis and is unsustainable, and by the European migration crisis. I think we could now look forward to some rather farcical negotiations between British officials who don't want to negotiate Brexit and European Union officials who are pretty fanatical about moving towards an ever closer European Union. I think it most unlikely that these negotiations between these two sets of people will be productive. And what will have to happen at the end is there will have to be a political deal. It is difficult to know what the political deal might be, not least because we don't know who the people involved are going to be. If Marine Le Pen becomes the President of France, she will seek to take France out of the euro, and Brexit will seem like a small tea party.
When you look at the polling of what the public wants, and certainly the political climate in the House of Commons, the public wanting to want this done and dusted within 2 years of formally exiting the EU, so that gives us until 2021, and they also don't want to pay into any EU budgets as we go through the process, which I would argue could create a rather difficult framework for negotiations in what we all hope is an amicable deal.
Business hates uncertainty. That's the most difficult thing for it to deal with. So what it's looking for is, and it supports the Prime Minister's speeches, both of them last week, about what she's going to do. But business needs continuing communication. They need to know what she is thinking of. We need to know that the government is listening to what business is thinking about, so that there can be a collaborative effort to make this exit go as smoothly as possible. Before the referendum, nearly 60% of our members are Remainers, 30% were Brexit, 10% were not really caring. Today, however, our members are generally upbeat. A majority are saying that they're feeling positive about the business for the next 12 months.
In the end, I guess what Britain will be aiming to do is to buy access to the single market. So I think money, at the end of the day, is going to play an important part.